Good day, everybody. Right now we are looking at the front differential output shaft and housing of a 2008 Chevrolet Suburban. Very similar setup to a 2008 Chevy Silverado or GMC Sierra 1500, both half-ton pickups. The problem that we have with this is very simple in that the CV axle is pulling on this output shaft and it pulls it away from the casing. And thereby the sleeve right here that normally would make mechanical contact is left here and thereby makes no mechanical contact with the output shaft, and four-wheel drive no longer works correctly. So the reason that this is pulling past is very simple. If you look at it, here's a couple of thrust washers, a new one and an old one. And this right here is the second one I've replaced. The thrust washer right here sits in this place and a snap ring goes in that groove. This has been the way that Chevrolet GM has made these output shafts for many years, but this design is new for 2008 and again changed in 2009. So apparently they realize they have a problem, but never really superseded or made any parts to change it, I would guess. So the snap ring that goes in right here supposedly keeps this axle from popping out that direction, from popping out towards the CV axle. And it works for about 100, maybe 200 miles. But eventually that snap ring that is spinning at however many rotations per minute is wearing on the inside metal of this thrust washer. And eventually it wears through the thrust washer, thereby making the whole idea behind having the snap ring there invalid. So it eventually wears off the metal on the outside of the snap ring as well. As you could probably tell, there's far more metal on the new snap ring versus the old snap ring. So the problem that I'm running into is the old vehicles, and many of you have had these apart. I know I've had dozens of them apart. There is, on the old vehicles, a second washer that goes here on the outside and takes the rotational wear from the snap ring and spins. And with the oil there, it lubricates and creates no wear on this thrust washer. Then the thrust washer can therefore do its job. However, I've gone to the GM dealership, I've talked to techs, I've talked to parts guys, I've looked at TSBs, I've looked into superseded parts. There is nothing. This is exactly how it's designed, how it's put together at the factory. There is only one thrust washer there. There's no other washer to take away that rotational wear, thereby allowing eventually that thing to wear through and break. My suggestion being simply to put a fit washer right here to take away the wear from that snap ring so it doesn't wear into the thrust washer. But I want to open it up to you guys and see if I can get your thoughts and opinions on maybe a different design that would help lengthen the life of both the snap ring and the thrust washer. I'm curious if any of you guys have run into this before, if you have any solutions for the problem. And if you have any questions or thoughts, please email me or contact me in some way. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Appreciate your time, and God bless. Bye.